Is social media killing your gains? Let's go. I sound like Jeff Cavalier. What's up, guys? What a video intro. Today we're back with another video regarding the impacts of social media on lifting culture, on bodybuilding culture, just in general, how you operate in the gym. Now, obviously, social media has a lot of benefits. Like one, for example, is it's made a lot of genuinely talentless people rich. In this video, I just want to discuss how social media has negatively affected how people operate within the gym and what can be done to prevent the outcomes that social media has caused. So the first and most obvious downside to social media and the gym is that it's giving people extreme body dysmorphia and maybe ruining their self-confidence. And this is to be expected because when people post on social media, right, regarding the gym, whether it's a man or a woman, they're posting their physiques at a point where they feel comfortable posting them. And usually like the bar for where they're comfortable to post their physiques goes up and up in an exponential trend, simply because we're less and less reactive, and we're kind of desensitized to seeing the average physique. As a result, we're only seeing top 0.0001% physiques on social media. And I mean, you really need to think like how often are you seeing someone else's body? And the answer to that is you're only seeing people's a majority of their body either at the gym or on social media. If you're only seeing physiques that are in the top 0.001%, and you're not getting a frame of reference for how someone else looks, maybe if they're looking worse than you or if they're just congruent to you, that could make you think that your physique isn't that good. And where it really becomes a problem is some people have genuinely amazing physiques, but they don't even know it or think it about themselves because they have body dysmorphia likely caused by social media. And I seriously, empathize with people who deal with it, because even I'll admit I've dealt with it myself. And I know the effect can be tough on women as well, because we're always seeing these lean, shapely women post their physiques on social media, and women who genuinely have attractive physiques wouldn't even know it, and they're constantly, judging themselves based on the criteria that social media provides for them. And I guess my advice to anyone who is dealing with body dysmorphia caused by social media is you really need to take a look around at people your age, around people who also go to the gym, who are at your local gym. It's hard for me to say compare yourself to people who are, beneath you as far as your physique goes, but a big part of knowing yourself and where you're at is not just knowing who lies above you, but also who stands below you. For every super freaky physique you see, there are 10 people who just don't even go to the gym that are your age that probably have a much worse physique than you. And I'm not about to bash these influencers for showing off their physiques, because who knows what it took for them to even get to a point to be comfortable posting their physiques, and obviously they make a livelihood off of it. I think at the end of the day, what we've created with social media in the gym is we've created physiqueflation, I guess. Yeah, maybe liftflation as well. I think we need to bring to the forefront more realistic physiques. I mean, not everyone has access to PEDs, and not everyone has access to the lifestyle that, these social media influencers have. And if we did, I mean, I think it would be even worse. So really, if you see, someone on social media posting their physique and they're not looking like a roided up freak, just show them some love, you know what I'm saying? Or a lady who, her physique, she's not at 0.001% body fat or something like that, show some love to the people who, you see on the everyday, because I mean, that creates a more healthy environment for social media. Now, I asked the question, is social media killing your gains, earlier in this video, because my next topic is social media affecting the way people train. Now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of great advice for training and diet on social media, but there's also a lot of bad advice, and there's also an unintentional effect in regards to leanness that I want to get into. Now, there are obviously great, channels that promote great fitness advice. Like, for example, one big inspiration of mine is Jeff Nippard. He gives incredible advice. But the thing I want to get into is, I think everyone's petrified these days of the concept of a bulk. Now, I get we have the whole winter arc thing going, and that's a good meme, but I feel like in general, because we're always seeing these shredded physiques year round on social media, no one wants to bulk because they don't want to lose, you know, the super lean looking physique. I mean, let's look at Mario Rios, for example. Like, he's always touting Leon Edwards' physique. And Leon Edwards does have a lean physique, but I mean, I don't think he maintains that the full year. And if he does, I think that's not healthy. He also would not have even gotten that big in the first place if he wasn't eating. And I mean, with eating right comes, of course, a little bit of fat. I think social media has also created like a demon in everyone's minds, that losing weight is incredibly difficult, but it's not as difficult as people make it out to be, especially if you're active on a daily basis. But because we're all so scared of the, you know, the 2 meal a day, the 1 meal a day lifestyle, no one wants to bulk up. And I mean, cutting is even more daunting than it's ever been. And so the advice I'd give to anyone who, you know, feels a little on the fence about bulking, and maybe that's caused by social media, is you're not being judged on your physique year round. Like, yeah, these social media influencers, they have to be at a certain, you know, status quo for them to even post content. Maybe it's this underlying belief that if their physique is not a certain way, no one will watch their content, which I think is kind of stupid because, I mean, people are mostly into personalities anyways. But at the end of the day, your experienced lifter watching your content is going to be like, okay, well, I know he's in a bulk right now. And even if you don't make content, that's even more reason to bulk, because as I said, no one's watching you the full year around. Like, no one cares about your physique the full year around. If you want to cut down for spring, for summer, and really get those nice photos going, go ahead. But in the wintertime, I don't think anyone's seeing you, you know, no one's seeing you with your top off. Don't be afraid of the bulk. And the final point I want to get into applies to the product peddling that goes on within the fitness community, especially on social media. It goes without saying, but the necessity of certain supplements and products and equipment within the fitness community is severely overstated. I don't really want to call out names for who's doing this, but your favorite content creator in some way or another is pushing some sort of product. And the way they do it is incredibly malicious, because they may be huge, they may be cut, they may be lean, they may have the greatest proportions on earth, but the malicious part about what they're doing is they're trying to convince you that you need those products to even get like remotely far at the gym. And it gets to a point where people are selling absolute bullshit on their online shops that no one would really need to supplement. So my advice to anyone who is maybe a little mystified by all the products out there that they're trying to push to you is buy what you think you need. Like, yeah, your favorite influencer is going to sell you some sort of pump fuel and be like, okay, well, if you want a nice pump, then buy this, get this arginine or get this L-citrulline malate. But do you need a pump? Do you need a crazy freakish pump? Not always. Me personally, what I take, if you really want to know, is I'm on a multivitamin, omega-3, creatine, and protein. And most of those aren't even needed. I would argue you only need the multivitamin. If you're eating properly, you're getting most of these nutrients anyways. Creatine is obviously nice because it makes your muscles a little bit more full. But as far as performance goes, I've never really noticed that big of a difference. Maybe a little bit, but still. And protein powder.
Your protein powder.
I mean, people will have you convinced you need protein powder. Protein powder only exists for you to hit your protein goals easier. But if you're eating right, if you're eating a nice high protein diet, you don't need protein powder at all. As a matter of fact, you're better off not using it, because those foods that you'll eat then will have much more nutrients that are valuable for your body. So really, I would just strongly recommend you eat a multivitamin to just round out your micronutrients for the day. Because I mean, you're not always getting like the very specific vitamins that are just not really commonly present in most food. It goes without saying, but if you're not eating like shit, you're not going to need most of these supplements. But that was the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Those are just some of my thoughts on the impact social media has had on how we view fitness and how we view ourselves. I think my goal with this channel is really to just be informative and maybe as entertaining as possible, but without reaching the expense of being a product peddler, or without being someone who would maybe give someone body dysmorphia, because I'm a natural lifter myself. And I'll tell you what, I'm in a bulk right now, a little bit chunky, but I've never been happier. And when spring comes around and I'll have to cut, I'm ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And you should be too. So yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like, drop a comment what you thought or what you think about the issue. And of course, subscribe for more videos. Yeah, thank you guys, and peace.